Let's go back a bit. Last week, News 8 told you about how the U.S. government's going to pay out $350,000 to some men who had their rights violated after a Fairhaven ICE sweep in 2007. Fast forward to today, Mayor John DeStefano worries that history is going to repeat itself, especially if this Secure Communities program goes into effect. It was 2007 when Immigrants and Customs Enforcement, or ICE, ran a sweep of Fairhaven, arresting about 30 people. Grand Rodeo owner Santos Lucero remembers the fear in his community.
The people don't want to get out of their house, and the people want to stay in the house, want to go back to work.
That fear is what worries and angers New Haven Mayor John DeStefano.
And of those that were picked up, they had one common characteristic. They were brown.
DeStefano revealed that starting Wednesday, ICE will unveil its Secure Communities program in Connecticut. Basically, someone who is arrested is fingerprinted. Those prints are then sent to ICE to enter into an immigration database. A police force then may be required to detain the suspect.
Been characteristic of ICE enforcement is just how arbitrary it is in terms of where it's enforced, who it's enforced against, and what the consequences are. Be damned.
I speak for the overwhelming majority of America's cities' police chiefs because we were asked. And overwhelmingly, we spoke and said that this does not help our job. We are not the American immigration police.
Lucero believes if someone is breaking the law, consequences must be paid for.
I mean, the people do wrong things, I don't got a problem.
They should be arrested.
Should be get arrested.
But Lucero, whose opinion mirrors that of Mayor DeStefano, worries that if someone is here illegally but pays taxes, has a job, and is breaking no laws, then ICE should focus their efforts elsewhere.
For people who make a living, I think should we leave it alone.
And this is the same federal government that goes into East Haven and tells East Haven what's wrong with them. Own set of issues. But the intellectual dishonesty of this, to me, is astounding.
Officials says today they're going to keep a close eye on it. Meanwhile, Mayor John DeStefano told me today that they are going to adhere to the ICE program, but he says really that they got into this mess because the federal government doesn't have any concrete immigration program. Meanwhile, ICE says, for their part, they've removed more than 40,000 violent offenders from this country because of Secure Communities. We're live in New Haven. Jamie Muro, News 8.